Hello there, and thanks for joining me. I'm Curl Painter Master Aaron Rutten, and in this video, I'm going to answer a commonly asked question, and that is, how do I add color tinting to my Grayscale image hose nozzles? So I have some custom image hose nozzles that I created here, and if I select one, and I select an image hose brush like linear size P, and I paint, you'll notice that it's in Grayscale. So how do we add color to it? Well, there's a couple different ways to do it. I'm going to go ahead and clear this. I'm going to create a new layer. And I want to bring your attention to the thumbnail or the preview of the image hose nozzle. Down here at the bottom, it's going to suggest which image hose brush you should select along with the nozzle. The nozzle is what's going to come out of the brush, and the image hose controls how it comes out. Is it going to spray out single file? Is it going to spray out randomly? Is it going to follow the contour of your brush? And you'll notice that I have linear size P, I have my spray, and I have my angle D brush. But then below that, I have mirror images of those. The only difference is that they have this black and white dot, which represents color, and that means that you can add color to this using your additional color. So that black and white dot represents your main and your additional color here. And the image hose nozzles are one of those brush sets that can use the additional color. Most other brushes in Curl Painter can only use the main color. So what I'll do is I'll click on the additional color, I'll choose the color that I want to tint my nozzle, and I'll make sure that I'm choosing one of these color brushes here, such as linear size P angle D color. Now when I paint, I'm going to get tinting rather than gray. And you can see I can choose any color I want. Now if I want to go back to another brush that's not an image hose brush, such as the digital airbrush or just about any brush, and paint, you might notice, why am I not getting that purple? That's what I selected. And if I try to select a blue and paint, I'm still getting that red. That's because most other brushes can only use the main color. So I have to click back on the main color once I'm done with the image hose brush, and then I can choose a different color for my other brushes. So again, if you're not getting the color that you expect when you're painting, just keep an eye on what's selected here in the main and the additional color. So that's one way to add tinting to the Grayscale image hose nozzles, but let's take a look at another way because this will give you a little more flexibility. I'm going to select this brush here called Plants, and I'm going to paint with it using a brush that doesn't use color for the additional color, so I'll just select the regular linear size P, and I'll paint in these plants here. You'll notice they come in Grayscale, and if we wanted to add tinting to them, we could, of course, just select the color version of this brush, and there you go, you have those. But you might get a more realistic effect if you tint over it with a different brush. So what I'm going to do is, since I painted on a new layer here, I can right-click on that layer, and I can choose Select Layer Content to put a selection around that layer. Then I'll create a new layer above that. I'll just call this Tinting so you know what it is. I'll hide the selection while keeping it active by going to Select, Hide Marquee. I'll change the composite method of that new tinting layer to Multiply. I'll select a green color that I want to use to tint. And then I can choose a number of brushes. I like the airbrush. And I can simply tint over these to add some color. And you can see if we compare that to the other example, if we were to use linear size P color here to try that same effect, I'm going to do Control D to deselect my active selection. If I paint, you can see it's a little more flat when I choose to tint it this way versus doing it the other way. So you may find that one way works better than the other when you're painting, depending on which nozzle you have selected. So I'll just go over that one more time. The two different ways that you can tint the image hose nozzles are by selecting an additional color and then choosing an image hose brush that can utilize additional color, which is one of these three here. Or if you wanted to create your own custom brush, the setting that this is utilizing is right here. It's called additional color, and that's what lets you add tinting to an image hose nozzle. So I have my additional color selected, I have my brush that can use additional color selected, and I'm painting, and I am getting different colors. Or I can paint it in Grayscale. I can right-click on that layer, choose Select Layer Content, go to a new layer above that layer, make sure it's set to Multiply, hide that selection by going to Select, Hide Marquee, select a brush that's suitable for tinting, such as the airbrush. Go back to my main color, because the airbrush uses the main color. Select a color to tint with, and then I can tint my leaves. So there you go, that's two different ways to add color to Grayscale image hose nozzles. If you found this information helpful, take a quick second to like this video. And if you're interested in downloading some of my custom image hose nozzle brushes, check out my custom Curl Painter workspace on my website at aaronrutten.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.